Rock'em Sock'em Rabbis. Oh boy!
Rock'em Sock'em Rabbis.
Boom! Right in the kipper.
Press the buttons. Move the joystick thingies. Knock his kipper to the floor. You're the winner.
He's just like me. Best 2 out of 3. Dad, you're my best friend.
Rock'em Sock'em Rabbis by Milton Bradstone.
Click Rumble Premium and join now for $99 annually or $9.99 a month to get the entirely ad-free experience and exclusive content from Louder with Crowder, Nick DiPaolo, Mr. Guns and Gear, Donald Trump Jr., and an ever-expanding roster of content, creators, and free speech. Glad to be with you. Ooh. I don't know what was done, but that was really good. I just have just some hot tea with honey is what I do in the to warm up the old vocal cords. Something about today is delicious.
There you go.
I don't know.
See,
I have no idea.
Bright side.
Maybe
And you never will know.
I never will know.
And
tomorrow will be back to crap.
I made it today.
All right. I have my phone here. Alex, again, no promises, but Alex Jones is going through it today. Today is when they are, I believe, auctioning off.
No, it auctioned.
It auctioned,
and it got announced today that the Onion bought it.
The Onion bought it.
Bricks.
Along with the Onion in partnership with potentially.
I think it was
Sandy Hook family. So we might be able to cross the streams later and check in on him. And you know what? I do advise that if this is his last stream there from InfoWars Studio, this is not something that any business advisor would tell me to do, but go tune into him today. He's one of the OGs, and he deserves your support, even if you don't like a single damn thing he has to say. We'll see if we can get him here on the show. I bet you probably can later. All right, what are we talking about today? Kamala Harris lost for the same reason that Spotify has problems, that Oracle had problems, that Google had problems, that Facebook has problems, is the people who you talk about being the extremist left, they're in charge of the institutions because everyone has to capitulate to them. Kamala Harris didn't do Joe Rogan's show because people on her staff likely would have walked off. That's pretty important because when people say, can this ship be righted? This is why I don't think that it can. I'll give you some other examples. Some controversial appointments, Tulsi Gabbard, Matt Gaetz. Look, there's some pros and cons to all of the above. And there's a lot of misinformation out there about Tulsi. Full disclosure, she's been on the show. And a lot of people are leaving X. That's going to be fun. And Rachel Ziegler, because everyone here likes to make me mad. They said you have to talk about her meltdown.
It is going to piss you off.
So that's likely going to happen very early on in this program. So if you are still watching on YouTube, which I do not recommend you do, and you see this, head on over to Rumble. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Eastern. We are always live. Not many shows that are live all the time without a net, nothing up our sleeves. Just to prove it, look at CNN. See right now. Hey, look.
Tulsi.
There's Rogue.
That's more like a Cruella de Vil.
And that's my question. How do you think Tulsi Gabbard got her stripe? No scientific, but please withhold your scientifically accurate answers, okay? Because it's not nearly as fun to just say, well, she probably just doesn't dye the stripe, or she probably dyes the one stripe. No. Let's have some fun with it. Think of it as a mental exercise.
Be creative.
I hope she gets more stripes.
Yes.
You know, like an ace pilot in the war gets extra stickers. I hope she gets more.
Every time an ISIS member gets raped in hell, a Gabby gets a stripe. Oh, that's right, you awful little girl. How did you become so horrid, so morbid? Captain Morgan, number 2, CEO. How are you?
Better than you, I think.
What? No,
you're a little dark there, buddy.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't think it's dark.
Judgy.
No,
Gerald.
What's dark about it? You don't want ISIS members to be raped?
I do.
In the sticks?
I think that's a prerequisite. Like being in hell, I'm assuming it includes rape.
I assume so.
So
I don't know. Maybe they,
By the
because if
men.
they like it, you don't think they'd get it in hell. I think hell is
Well,
like you get all the things you don't like, right?
It's like if Don Lemon goes to hell, it's just nothing but beautiful women.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so
that's hell.
every time an ISIS leader's boy slave holds out on him in hell, Tulsi Gabbard gets a stride.
I said no talking.
Yes. And when you hear this, you know him, you love him. this Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
JP's Comedy Club, Gilbert, Arizona. Josh Firestein, go see him. How are you, Josh?
I'm good.
Yep.
I'm excellent. Yeah, I think I have some theories about the stripe, but we'll talk about it later.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. Yeah, just give us a little something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Keep the mystique alive. That's very important in a relationship. Thank you for offering to give me chapstick earlier before
we
the
didn't
show.
have to talk about it, but
Yeah, I forgot
you
to put
know.
on chapstick. Since that stomach flu, I've had chapped lips, and you're like, come on over here.
Hey, what's a kiss between friends?
That's
Yeah,
gay.
but he looked at me like the
That's what it is.
female gremlin.
Oh, that's right.
So yesterday,
Pretty clear.
Snow can't wear white on her wedding day. Rachel Zegler
Oh,
had something blue and something really bitchy. She had a whole meltdown and, of course, blames you, the country. It's not that this is that big of a deal. It's just emblematic of the left right now and why I think they're at least 3 years from any kind of significant course correction. Brings us to our entertainment minute. I know, but this tea is so good. It's like when they used to give you the samples at the mall.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't really like tea. Like, here you go. It's a cup of sugar with some tea in it.
They still give out samples at the mall. It's just OxyContin.
Yes.
Oh.
it's-
yeah.
Blue crystals.
Yeah, mall. I guess malls are. Have you ever gone to there's like a whole Reddit of like abandoned malls?
Oh, they're everywhere.
Dude, it's like you think you're in a haunted house.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For real.
But there's always a Sparrow.
And a guy with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Serving
Yeah.
slices of crappy
Yes,
pizza.
exactly.
Hey, it's good pizza.
No, it's not.
All right. So Ziegler, the Snow White person, I don't want to misgender her.
There you go.
Started off by, of course, ripping Trump. And like I've always said, the difference is not just Donald Trump, but the supporters, the voters. That's the big difference that you see from those on the right. Certainly what you see from Donald Trump going after the elites, those in power versus the elites themselves. Ziegler is one. She probably doesn't want to acknowledge it.
Right.
Going after the proletariat. Let's just go with that. I don't know. She probably doesn't know that word, but I'm trying to
Work on it.
make this work. All right. She says, I shouldn't be this shocked, but I am.
Oh, Lord.
That's a bad start. And here's why it's a bad start. You immediately acknowledge that your response is illogical. Oh, let's see how this pans out. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning. Okay. And I am here with you to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in forging a new path forward. Hold on a second. Rachel. I don't know if it's, here's the thing. Is you. You're the left. Oh, I get it. Do you get it? You're saying you're the killer. So I'm the killer. Yes, that's exactly it. It's like the end of Scream.
Spoiler alert.
May Trump.
Do you like bad movies?
Yeah.
Do you like bad Disney movies?
It would be like OJ watching a replay of the car chase. Like, what in holy hell? No, OJ, it's you.
I got to see how this ends.
That's your Bronco.
Man,
What
it's
an
not crazy.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Here's the big difference. You know,
That's scary.
it's fun to point out that you're moronic. It's fun to point out that you're entitled, that you're genuinely a bad person. But as a Christian, as a conservative, I believe that all people can be redeemed. That's why I think that A Christmas Carol is a fifth gospel. We love redemption stories. I want you to find peace. I know you won't find peace in doing the same thing that you are doing. The left wants you to not find peace because they see that you are happy. They see, more important than that, maybe not happy, that you have purpose. Very different approaches. I hope Rachel Ziegler finds peace. Until then, let's have a go. Ziegler then bemoaned. This is from the article. Okay. There's also a deep, deep sickness in this country that is shown in the sheer amount of people who showed up for this man to threaten our democracy. Okay. I would say there's a deep, deep sickness in allowing biological men to compete in ladies' sports. I would say there's a deep, deep sickness in thinking that people are so far off the beam of reality simply because they don't believe in providing hormone blockers and sex change surgeries to minors. I would say that's a sickness. For proof, see all of human history and their viewpoints on this issue since ever. I'd say that's pretty sick. Matter of fact, I can't think of anything sicker than allowing a child to cut off their penis. And I know what you'll say, that there are not many of those. Doesn't matter.
One.
The answer needs to be, no, that's sick.
Technically, someone else cuts it off,
It's true.
which is worse, I think.
They're both sick. It's sick. It's a sick thing to do. Name that movie line. It is a foolish. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Yeah, I got it. Okay. It's tough for me to read this because it's written in her broken English. It is a foolish subscription to a false sense of security, of masculinity, of intelligence, of patriotism, and of humanity. Here's the thing. You actually just named really good things.
Yes.
You just said that it's a foolish subscription to that. I don't really know what you mean by it, but hey, since you just named good virtues, security, masculinity, intelligence, patriotism, humanity, tell your listeners or tell your readers why they're wrong in believing that their vote supports this, why the vast majority of Americans, by the way, including in a lot of these issues, you'd be hard-pressed to find a Democrat who thinks that the Republican Party and the conservative movement is not more masculine. As a matter of fact, you're one of the people who bemoan that. So how is it false? How is it foolish? Sorry, we should subscribe to your vision of masculinity, which is men in dresses and chicks with dicks. Just please clarify.
I'm happy to hear the left finally say that our toxic masculinity is false.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
And patriotism, humanity. Okay, she went on to, of course, take aim at Elon. Remember, this is the person who they all loved on the left. Get off Elon's app, BTW. That means, by the way.
Oh.
Are you doing, as I post this on X, they're eating you up on Twitter. And by that, they mean that some people posted some trolling memes. He helped get that man elected, and you're giving him business. Okay. Wow. If that's your principled stance, then you have to get off YouTube. You have to no longer use Google.
Yeah.
You have to no longer use Apple. How about Spotify? That's a problem. Facebook, Instagram, Meta. What about TikTok? Let me ask you this. Do you think that do you think that Elon Musk is worse than Xi Jinping? It's not like we don't have a standard. It's not like we don't have a comparison, right?
Oh my gosh.
You can do it here. Her favorite restaurant's probably owned by a Republican.
Yeah. It's a good, probably a production studio too. They just have to keep quiet. Think about this for a second. It's not enough for the left. You know what? And it's not lost on me. I want to be clear about this. It's not lost on me that you could see maybe there's a conflict of interest. Elon Musk being in this administration. I get it. Big business, married with big government. That could be a problem. However, you are mad because it's the sole exception in decades as it relates to big tech, outside of course, Rumble, which was started from the ground up to be pro freedom of speech. It's not that you're concerned about business and government. It's that you're only concerned with the one lone ranger out there, with the one rebel who is allowing more speech, who is allowing more dialogue. And the reason it's novel and you're targeting him is because no one else does it. There's Elon, okay, Rumble, and then you have the most powerful companies in the history of mankind ever. Google, Alphabet, YouTube, Facebook, Meta, Instagram. Of course, now we also have TikTok, but you also have to look at all of the multimedia conglomerates, by the way. Comcast, ABC, Disney, Hulu, NBC Universal. Add them all up. Turner Broadcasting. Where's your problem with them? Oh, that's right. The left is bemoaning the media for not doing enough. I guess the 85% positive coverage of Kamala. Here's the thing. Look, Rachel, you don't understand something. Donald Trump was outspent, outmaneuvered, outmachined, outground game, everything. There was an entire Democratic machine along with all of big tech, along with all of legacy media and Washington, D.C., and that includes most Republicans, versus a guy who people finally said, you know what? All right, I'm not afraid to vote for him. He had every disadvantage played against him humanly possible. The only thing he had, kind of, was X. And the only advantage there is that he wasn't being permanently suspended and having his voice removed. Think about that. That was a big win for the right. That's all the right needed to shove this in your face. How bad is your messaging? How bad is your worldview? How bad are your ideas that $1 billion and all the endorsements you could pay for couldn't make a difference? That's been this week's Entertainment Minute. Any updates there, Gerald?
Not yet.
Okay, all right. Let's go on to X. It's fun. It's a fun topic.
No updates. No updates from me either.
No what?
No updates from me either.
No
Oh, okay,
updates.
Josh.
Okay, all right, good.
Fantastic.
Thank you. I
It
appreciate
kind of plays into this next story, but like they cannot win on the idea battlefield. They want you in a progressive ghetto. They get off X and go somewhere else where all you hear is what we have to say. How bad must your ideas be? How afraid of competition must you be to go, I don't want to be on a platform that lets me say exactly what I think?
Right.
That's insane to me. I don't understand that. Like, go on, what is it, Blue Sky right now? I think a lot of Dems are saying they're going on to. You want to flee to a place where it's only liberals?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. And the big difference is they're fleeing to a place that will engage in more censorship.
Yes.
Republicans are going, oh, wait, okay. Conservatives are going, wait, okay, Rumble. And by the way, you can check and you can join Rumble Premium. You have people who aren't even conservative or political who are doing content there. You have people who can't make a living elsewhere because they have opinions that are unpopular or they've said some naughty words. It's so much worse than the FCC and the culture of censorship where people thought the religious right. No, they just didn't want pornography on television, in prime time. There's a very big difference between that and saying that people I disagree with don't have the right to speak ever. This is them, meaning the left, trying to leverage their positions to silence you. Make no mistake. Okay, that's what's going on. So let's look at X. After Donald Trump, of course, won, that's the catalyst for it. You have Joy Reid, who also announced that she was deleting her account. And as she yelled it, she hurt herself back.
Hey guys, so today I finally did something I've been meaning to do for a while. And the reason for doing it, and kissing goodbye my 1.9 million followers over there, is because I hadn't been posting for a long time. I just didn't want to contribute content once it was purchased by its present owner.
Oh, Lord.
But just having it there, I was only holding on to it because I, really didn't want someone trying to take over that name and using it for nefarious purposes. I was a little bit worried about that.
Seriously.
I thought she was going to finally get around to a better weave.
I think that's her natural hair, the old Slim Shady.
Military buzz cut.
Yeah, about 2 weeks from now, when she's irrelevant, she's going to be on Twitter going, guess who's back?
Yeah, right.
She walks in and says, high and tight, please.
Yes.
How many parody accounts do you think are out there right now?
I don't know. I confuse them with the ones for Demolition Man.
Nice.
Let's get a side by side of that. Demolition Man.
So here's the thing. Everyone makes mistakes, right? But this is a woman who believes that people should be censored for fake news. This is a woman who believes that misinformation is out there, right? And she fancies herself a journalist. Let's look at some of the flawless journalism. And this is really bad. Mistakes are made, but this just means she's lazy at her job. She actually posted this on X. Here's the thing. The reason there's a thing called 538, I'm talking about Nate Silver there, or originally was, is because 538 was the margin in Florida when the Republican Supreme Court reversed the 2000 election during a recount, making W the president. There's so many things that are wrong, but let's continue. That's the kind of margin where races can flip. That's not what's up now. Okay, the only problem is 538's name is based on the total points in the Electoral College.
Come on.
You moron. It's not that she made a mistake. It's that it's 3 posts on Twitter where she didn't just take the time to go, hold on a second. I'm about to make a very definitive statement to the world who can easily fact check it.
Right.
Let me just really quickly take 4 seconds to double check.
To 1.9 million people.
Yeah.
Well,
She made sure to tell us
Yes.
how popular she is.
Everyone gets caught. Everyone makes mistakes. That's why we have an admonish button. This is someone who doesn't even have in the back of their mind, wait a second. People have the ability to verify what I'm saying. Is it true? That's why we make all the references available every single day. It's not that she was wrong. It's that she's so used to CNN, MSNBC. She's so used to them carrying her water and never having to really verify whether she's right or wrong that she felt comfortable posting that dumbassery. Don Lemon. We told you this yesterday, right? He's leaving X over the terms of service. And remember,
Nobody read that.
Huge loss for X.
He's a homo.
wait, what was that? Can you bring up that overlay? What? Oh, is that from? Why does it look like an old boxing flyer?
It kind of does, right? Yeah.
He put
like
it
a-
on his Don
and-
Lemon letterhead.
And Don Lemon enters the ring doing the whirly-twirly punches. And, oh boy, he's getting the shit kicked out of him.
Why is he bending over?
I guess we all could have seen this coming with a Sprite. We thought that the colored component would override it, but turns out he's not tough.
Fancies himself some low blows.
He used his own letterhead, you said?
Well, you saw it, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at it. He made his own letterhead.
Oh, he's got like a logo and all that.
It's
Why do these
watermarks,
anchors
too.
think
Look at
that they have fan? Like what is that? Like you're an
You'd think
anchor.
he
A
would
network chose
know.
you to put you on TV. Like no one chose you.
Like, look, okay. We were demonetized on YouTube. You know, the Vox Apocalypse. Right. Okay. It became the biggest right-leaning channel to exist on YouTube. Demonetized, which really the problem with that is not the millions of dollars
Preach.
lost, is the shadow banning,
Right.
where you can't even reach your own subscribers. If you're on YouTube, you hit the notification bell. It still won't work, right? That's what it is because they wanted to silence voices of opposition. We bitched, we made you aware, and we created an alternative. Mug Club, which is now Rumble Premium. I think the laws are messed up. But look, I know that YouTube's not missing me. They clearly don't want us there. They clearly don't want YouTube to be the primary place of our broadcast. So that was, hopefully you can understand the logic. This man, Don Lemon, had a falling out over a very short-lived show on X, right? He had a show, it sucked, it didn't work, and now he's announcing, well, I'm leaving then. Well, come on, man. Stop trying to save face. It's embarrassing.
God.
Just straight or gay, have some self-respect. We're going to miss the insightful takes from Lemon Party, like this advice he gave to Kamala's campaign.
Hey, Don, what campaign advice would you give the Harris campaign right now with such few days left in the election?
I think she's kind of doing it, but I would say hit the throttle even harder.
Very spontaneous interview.
But Kamala,
God, I wish
she's doing great. Just more. More is more. More is more.
Hit the curb.
Do it.
I know.
By the way, fact check, there is no seat on that bicycle.
It's custom. That's when he gets off.
And this one was always fun. Don Lemon's take on Lunchables.
I don't like my cheese drippy, bro. Ah, man. Delicious.
Fact check, false. Man loves his drippy cheese.
It's like Russell Wilson level cringe.
Yes. Yes.
You got paid for that at least.
Jamie Lee Curtis. She's not ugly. She's just very unattractive. Comment below if you know what I mean. There are women who are not like physically like ugly, but there's just something very off-putting.
Mm-hmm.
That's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
She looks like an alien.
That would be putting it flatteringly.
Yeah, she used to be hot though.
No. So she posted this screenshot of her deleted X account on Instagram with a little snippet of the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Then she immediately ate herself into an Activia stupor and shit her pants. So that was pretty tough. For her.
That was her therapist couch.
I don't feel good about it.
No.
I
So
don't
gross.
We paid someone to do that.
It's a little too effective.
Yes. So we're really sad with the Ziegler's gone, with the Don Lemon's. Jamie Lee Curtis will no longer get wonderful posts on X like these. I vow to use by freedom of speech to support my child and all trans children trying to live freely. By the way, one of her lifelong friends responded to her post. So it has a happy ending.
You sure?
I don't know. Something happened. Something happened with some weird druid cult, and he becomes immortal. And Paul Rudd. I don't know. So here's a we're going into the timelines of Halloween. Bonus. Do you guys remember that one with Paul Rudd?
No.
Yeah. It was like a druid.
Yeah, Cult of Thorn.
That's it. Cult of Thorn. Okay. It was very
Really?
stupid. It was very
Okay.
stupid. It was very dumb.
I feel like I don't need to watch that one.
There you go.
Here's one from The Guardian yesterday. The Guardian is leaving X. They announced it. And of course, they blame the far right. And by the far right, they mean more than half of this country. Isn't that wonderful? It used to be, well, not Republicans, not like classic Republicans. I mean, the far right, the Trump voters. Well, surprise!
Wouldn't you want to reach them? Wouldn't you want to go out there and be like, hey, by the way, you're wrong, and here's why. Here's an article about, this topic that you guys are getting wrong. By the way, they didn't say any of the reporters had to stop using X, and they still make their link shareable on X.
Yes.
At The Guardian, they're not going to walk away from all the revenue.
Yeah. No.
No, the king cares not what the peasant thinks of him. That's what they fancy themselves a king.
Yes. Old King
These
Guardian.
elitists.
Okay. It's a good day. I don't know why I'm sighing. We're going to miss some articles from The Guardian. Like, I don't know if you remember this one. This was featuring a photo of this trans with the following description. The mother sits with her legs widely sprawled as her baby clings to her chest. For those who don't know, it's a man. She also has a direct and unsmiling gaze, close-cut hair, and a mustache.
It looks like a regretful gaze.
I think that's a woman.
It's a man, baby.
I think that's what she's telling us.
Standard Indian mom.
I don't know anymore. I don't know if
Are we playing that game?
The point is, she and mustache don't go together unless there's something horribly wrong, in which case seek an endocrinologist.
That's child abuse.
They start off with this. This is the issue. It's not like when people say, how does the left recalibrate? I don't know. And genuinely, comment below. How do you recalibrate when you just expect people to go like, oh yeah, the woman with no tits and a mustache, yeah, oh yeah, the breastfeeding with the penis there, like they just expect you to just move on as though this has always been the case. It's been about 4 years that it's ever even been in the discussion, and you're transphobic. We showed you that clip yesterday from CNN. I don't know that they can fix that, especially when you take into consideration what happened with Kamala Harris's campaign. You saw it with Biden, and now you see it with Kamala. They can't get away from it, right? Also, the Twitter CEO, Linda Yaccarino, tweeted, X usage is at an all-time high and continues to surge. Legacy gatekeepers are yesterday's news. So that's fun. I mean, it seems like they're doing pretty well.
I feel like they're taking it in stride.
Yeah.
These large contributors decide to leave.
And by the way, another way too, look, we have been here since, it's 2008, this show daily since 2016 or 2017. It's all because of you, Mug Club. And now you have the fruits of your labor. Rumble Premium. Mug Club is Rumble Premium. Rumble Premium is Mug Club. Same membership. You get everything on Rumble. You get it ad-free. You get all the other content creators there. One stop. You continue watching today through the same portal. You don't need to change accounts. It's what we were migrating toward. This has been the goal for us for a very long time, to no longer have to be fragmented. Hey, other conservatives out there, water is warm. By the way, gamers, sports, water is warm. If you just don't want to be beholden to the culture of censorship, Rumble Premium is your spot. There's now an alternative. On election night, Rumble got over 17% share of the streams compared to YouTube, which doesn't sound like a lot, but YouTube used to be 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a big
massive deal. By the way, it's, I think Toolman, you said this, it was Mug Club kind of partnering with people to fight big tech. So think Mug Club against YouTube. Now it's Rumble Premium. Like we're banding together with this giant resourceful company to go after big tech even further. So
you guys wanted an alternative?
Do it.
You have it. Takes billions of dollars to do.
Yeah.
To create something you can use where you can watch on your phone, you can use an app, you can watch on your smart TV. You don't have to log in, you don't have to hit a Patreon. It takes billions of dollars to do, let alone the content. Couldn't be prouder to be working with Rumble. We made a big bet, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Also take Chris Pavlovsky's giant, steel balls, but
Yes, he does. That's because he has his phone in his pocket.
That's true. So he has the steel ball case to make sure everything.
Did you know this? I read it on my, there's actually a warning on your phone about not keeping it within a certain, distance of your butt because it could cause some kind of
what?
Cancer. And
Wait,
hold on a second. Then we're all screwed.
We
and
are.
Toolman has 2 phones. He uses them like ball hand warmers. He claps them
you
like
don't want to be one-sided.
By the way, I know it's a fetish, but you got to stop clapping your balls with your phone like an eraser.
Really weird.
I'll try. I'd like to get attention.
You put the specifically don't live stream it next time either. That was weird.
He's like the
Okay.
monkey
Sorry.
clanking cymbals. That being said, they look very large after. So the
Well,
inflammation.
that's true. Yeah.
It's not inflammation, it's pump.
That's a pump, bro.
Gotta get pumped everywhere.
So before we get to the appointments, and I really do want to get to that, and we have some updates on Mitch McConnell. There's this new report that went out, and all references available, louderwithcrowder.com, link in the description, that Kamala didn't go on Joe. A lot of people think that may be the mistake. I don't think it would have helped her. I think it would have hurt her, but she had to go for broke. Didn't go on Joe Rogan's show. Okay. Seems that that's because of, like I've always said, the pushback from her team. You have to appease those people, whether it's an awful sketch that makes air on Stephen Colbert because a black chick wrote it, or it's people managing the billion-dollar campaign who will walk off and protest if you go on the biggest podcast in the world. Jeez. So according to one of Doug Emhoff's staffers, Financial Times, this is where it comes from. It says there was a backlash with some of our progressive staff that didn't want her to be on it, and how there would be a backlash, which I don't really know what that means, the way he says it, and how there would be a backlash. But here's the thing. This is not the first time this has happened, right? We've been following this for a very long time. That's why we were demonetized here on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's why Susan Wojcicki had to at the Recode conference say, well, there was no violation of God, but we had to create new ones because people there at YouTube were threatening to walk off if we were allowed on the platform. So that's one example. You have Facebook as another example. In 2020, right, you had employees who protested Zuckerberg's refusal to ban Trump leading up to the election, right? There was this whole mass calling out sick while working from home during COVID. So Mark Zuckerberg has apologized, and I hope that he's being genuine where he said, yep, we should not have capitulated to the government during COVID. We should not have capitulated on the Hunter Biden laptop story. We were receiving direct communications from the administration, from intelligence agencies telling us what we had to do. And I'm sorry about that, but he can't actually tell you his real viewpoints now, lest he lose half of his staff. It's not about him. Even if the head of the company can do the right thing, we don't have the same redemption arc because there are a bunch of people in the back room, right? Underqualified and overpaid who are willing to burn everything to the ground. And that is who is in control of the left. When people say, it's a small fringe of people who think trans sports are a thing. No. It's the people who control what is permissible on Facebook and Google. Here's another example. In 2017, right, employees walked out over Donald Trump's immigration ban, which doesn't even make sense.
No.
Just walked out. This is like when you were a kid. Remember you had like a walkout in your high school and
feel powerful.
Yeah, but you just did it. Like I don't even know what it was.
And then you all got like suspended.
Yeah, I did.
I'm running away. I'll be home for dinner.
Yes, exactly.
Make sure I have food and water and shelter still, please.
Yes. Saturday Night Live, right? 2021 cast members refused to appear alongside Musk. Remember that when he was hosting the show?
I don't understand.
And by the way, Saturday Night Live lost the biggest new comic ever in Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
Because he said Chinaman. He might have said, you might need to hit the YouTube dump button. I think he might have said chink when talking about a racist guy going to Chinatown, right? That was what it was taken from on a podcast.
He's talking about armor.
He was, well, yes, exactly. But they lost Shane Gillis. And now you see, okay, everyone who goes to SNL, their careers, Shane Gillis. You think they didn't want to catch that big fish? Of course they did, but they couldn't do it. They cannot improve, and by they, I mean the left. I mean, whether it's a candidate or whether it's a company, they cannot improve their product. They cannot correct course because of the people who are entrenched. So I will never hear anyone say, I used to be a Democrat, but the Democrat Party left me. I'm a classical liberal, but nope. These are the people in charge of all of the left's institutions, whether it's academia, whether it's media, whether it's Hollywood, whether it's big tech. These are the people who are running the show.
I don't remember what their reason was at that point because he didn't own Twitter at the time. Twitter was still a thing independent on its own. Obviously, he had a big account there, but was it because he left California for Texas?
Could be.
Is that really it? Because I don't remember him being a controversial.
He was speaking out against
he was a bit outspoken
Yeah.
about COVID, and this is April 2021, so this is a year after COVID started.
Right. Yeah.
I assume that's got to be it.
Then you have Oracle. Remember that? Oracle in 2020 employees, they walked out, staged a huge walkout after their company founder there, Larry Ellison, hosted a fundraiser for Donald Trump.
Bold strategy.
Yeah. So hold on a second. No walkouts when 99% of contributions, we've run those numbers for years, went to Democrats in all of big tech companies and firms. Nothing. Not a peep. One guy and you walk out. Also, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. People will get mad at me. This is the entitlement of employees who don't realize that they're replaceable.
Yeah.
And we have a culture, especially since COVID, like, well, I want to work from home. Oh, it's a factory. Yeah, but I don't want to be in there, but it's a foundry. We have to handle melting liquid hot magma. Well, I didn't have to the first 2 years. Well, you can go screw yourself. And then they demand the government step in and enforce a law that doesn't allow businesses to fire them. I think we need a culture of more firing. Genuinely. We need a culture of more firing. We've gotten away from that. Oh, you're really bad. And you don't fire someone just because they're not great at their job. You fire someone because they're hurting someone else at their job. And I will tell you this, I realized this a few years into this company, right? Where it was like,
I remember.
I was awful at firing people. It's a big reason you're here. And
wait, to fire people or because you couldn't fire them?
That could really go
there
both
was
ways.
There was a period of time, to put a specific time, there was a period of time where there was about 20% of the people doing all of the work.
Right.
And because I was too much of a pussy because I felt bad firing people. You know what? You had other people who were overworked, overstressed, and it wasn't fair to them because they would show up and they would do the work. And Toolman, yes, you were one of them. Thank you. You still aggravate me, but in the nicest ways. And I had to go, you know what? Hold on a second. This isn't fair. Because I thought, okay, fine, I'll take more of it on. You know, no one's perfect. But then you look at the people who are there, who want to be there, who actually take pride in what they do, and they're being hurt. And you know what? They have families too. You're working at a company where you're on a deadline and you look back at your office and all the cubicles are empty because one guy happens to vote for Donald Trump. You know how awful that is? You know how much pressure is now on you? Because you are going to be graded on your performance and the people who aren't there won't because there is no performance to grade. We need to, this is the issue with Disney movies, right? If you're a business owner, you show up, you're the bad dad who doesn't have time. You're the oil man. You know what? I don't know if you know this, but there are a lot of business owners out there who are actually pretty damn compassionate and they want the employees who are doing well to do even better.
Yeah.
But you got to cut the dead weight. Oracle, Facebook, Google, who else am I missing? SNL. Who else am I missing here? All of them.
Yeah, it's the bad apple syndrome. It's one bad apple or a bad attitude will contaminate the rest of the team.
Oh yeah.
And I agree with you too. You know, a culture of firing, but I think that's just like a subset of a culture of accountability.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yeah.
Really, like from top to bottom.
Yeah.
We have no accountability anywhere. That's why I loved during the debate when Trump told Kamala, he was Kamala or Biden. It was like, you guys don't fire anybody.
Right.
I fired. Yeah. People left because I fired them.
Right.
They sucked. They did a bad job.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
I'll fire more.
And especially when, well, hold on a second. Yeah, I have to fire them because the people are the ones who are bearing the brunt of this. All right. Yeah. And by the way, you can go to crowdershop.com. You still have the Trump One shirt right there that one that you guys really like.
Nice.
Not forever. We're gonna end up pulling that down. But
Really?
I like your shirt, by the way.
Which, oh yeah.
Yeah, that is a great
one.
one. That is a great. It's too bad we didn't have a lot of
Because we're
time
garbage.
to bask in it.
Yeah, I know the garbage people.
But
thing.
yeah, it was fun.
A lot of screw ups from that campaign. Hey, let's go to Thune very, very briefly. I don't want to. 2 rounds of voting. Republican senators elected this guy, not a huge fan, John Thune, to be the majority leader.
I'm excited to get to work with this team right away. And I want to thank my colleagues who placed their faith in me to serve as leader. And to those who were supporting another candidate, I promise to be a leader who serves the entire Republican conference.
It's better.
We'll have an ambitious agenda and we'll take each and every Republican
Lady on the right looks
together
fun.
to be successful.
First off, never trust a guy whose name is a lisp.
Mm-hmm.
And for those
Soon you will see.
Yeah, Thune. Wait,
My master plan.
when will you be incoming majority leader?
I'll be soon. Pretty soon.
Very soon. Very.
Don't be such a sassy pants, okay,
Okay,
Stephen?
I'm sorry. I apologize,
This
Mr.
is about the
Douglas.
Senate, okay? I'm a senator. Take me serious from South Dakota.
I promise.
South
Dakota.
South.
Why does that get me?
Look, I've been to Sioux Falls.
Okay.
Me too.
I don't even know if Sioux Falls is in South Dakota, but
It is.
okay, I got that one
You're
right.
safe on that one. Geographically correct.
So, of course, by the way, he will be replacing Mitch McConnell, who has stepped down to make more time for his hobbies, like fishing.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
And, of course, studying anatomy.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
He's a buzzkill at the gentleman's club.
Yeah, dude, that lady, she's like, I guess I'm named for
Dude,
nobody.
it's not about you, Mitch. It's the people around you. You can't perk up, then you shouldn't be there.
Can you believe he rented the whole place out for that?
Yes. Yes, I can.
He froze up.
He wanted to find out if no one's there, if the stripper keeps dancing.
Oh, they do. They do.
Yes, we'll get into it.
Horrible tipper.
What is? Oh, right now. Oh, Brian Stelter is positively gleeful right now that InfoWars is being taken over. Let's see what they're saying on CNN really quickly.
Here, they were able to bid for the InfoWars media empire. InfoWars, of course, a very different kind of fake news.
And actually, I'm
InfoWars
going to check
and
my
Alex
phone. So pop
Jones,
Gerald on
he's
real
all
quick.
about fear of immigrants, fear of Democrats, fear of government. He is a
He's not afraid of
disinformation
immigrants.
artist, and it was his defaming of the Sandy Hook families that caused all of this to happen. It was that lawsuit. It was that $1.5 billion judgment against Jones that sent this to auction. And as of today, a judge has ruled that The Onion, a satirical news website, gets to own all of the InfoWars assets. So as we speak,
Not
Jim,
Alex
InfoWars.com, the website's
Joke's
already
on
been
you.
taken down. And now the new owners, whether they use it for comedy or they use it for advocacy, we're going to find out in the months to come.
Advocacy, a lot of viewership, I'm
Especially
sure.
after
I know, right?
Alex Jones caused so much pain for
No,
the families
he really didn't.
of the Sandy Hook victims.
Sorry.
Defaming
I'm
them,
just going to say it. I'm not going to go along with this whole lie. He didn't cause a lot of pain for the families.
No.
Okay?
Actually, he got them paid.
Stop it now.
He got them families paid. They can give their other kids scholarships now.
It's ridiculous.
I can't hear him. What happened?
He went away.
To bring justice to the big liars out there promoting
Yeah.
big lies. And Alex
What do you
Jones
mean,
in some ways was
justice?
the biggest one of them all. Look,
Really?
all of a sudden,
Like
it's
Russia?
somewhere else, he's vowing to fight on. He has allies like Steve Bannon. They're going to help him do it. But The
Yeah.
Onion was able to partner with the Sandy Hook families, and they've
Incredible.
actually struck an advertising deal with the gun control group, Every Town for Gun Safety. So they're
Wow.
trying to do some good, taking out out of all the damage.
Who do you think
that
is
Alex
going
Jones
to
caused.
watch
Well,
InfoWars
hats off to
with
them,
these guys in
all,
charge?
Brian Stelter.
You basically bought ashes. That's all that's left when Alex Jones walks out the door with his name and his talent, which you cannot own in this deal. He does not have to work for you. He can go set up some other shop somewhere else and do this. What do you think you've just accomplished?
Return of the fact. He's getting the sights now. His body ain't straight. Return of the fact. Oh my God. Return of the slack.
Unbelievable.
I like it.
Listen, I disagree. You and I have talked about this. We don't always agree with what Alex Jones says. That's fine. We love Alex Jones. I love hanging around the guy. I don't have a chip in my brain for what has happened to him.
I'll tell you what
in
it
this
is.
country. I have no.
I'll tell you, we've talked about all of it today. Where Ziegler, I hope they never find peace. Right?
Yeah.
We've talked what's happening right now. They just want to damage people.
Yes.
The left doesn't know how to build anything.
No.
And that's fundamental to their worldview. They believe in redistribution. They believe in punishment. They believe in breaking down patriarchy and traditions. They've never had to build anything up. They've tried to with the whole gender bending thing, and it failed. They've not built anything.
Yeah.
And so they want to hurt Alex Jones. Ziegler wants to hurt all Trump supporters, wants them to never find peace. You know what? We want the left to find truth and correction.
Yeah. If your ideas on the left were so good, you wouldn't need the government to enforce them.
Who did
Okay?
the money go to for the auction? They bought it, obviously.
So it's going to go back to the families, I believe. So you purchase it and it tries to satisfy the debt that's against InfoWars and Alex Jones.
So I could see why the families would want to buy it because they get their money back.
Well,
sort of.
lawyers get a cut of that too. I'm
Yes.
sure.
Oh yeah, they get a cut of everything that they exploit these people
Significant
for.
cut, I'm sure.
Yeah. They make a lot of money.
Oh, those lawyers love school shootings.
Well, yeah. Well, and you know what? One of the lawyers that I remember in his closing statement said, "This is to make sure that that nobody else out there can ever have a platform like Alex Jones." Something to that effect. I'm pretty close to a damn direct quote.
It's insane.
Like we said, it's not about Alex Jones, even if you disagree with him. And you know what? Sometimes people give me flack because I've gone on Piers Morgan's show and he immediately wants to ask me about Alex Jones and do I condemn? I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Even if in our quiet time, I would condemn some of the statements to Alex himself, and I've done it. I'm not going to go out there and do it with a friend. Sorry. Those are the ABCs of me. Let's go to Donald Trump's new appointments here, because let me tell you something. You're going to hear a lot of noise out there, especially as it relates to Tulsi Gabbard. Not all of it is accurate. There are pros and cons to these appointments, largely Tulsi Gabbard, but we'll first get to Matt Gaetz. So I want to provide you a pretty holistic view here of what you won't be finding in some echo chambers on the left and on the right. You're getting one side. This is one of those perfect examples where you'll read the exact same story with two very different headlines. So the truth does matter. It's not lost on me. Fake news actually is a problem. I think it's more of a problem on the left, but it is a problem sometimes on the right. And I wouldn't say the right. I would say the grifters who've come in who just want to generate clicks. For proof, you can see, for example, the election night retention. You look at a lot of conservatives out there, and people tuned in and then immediately tuned out because they realized, oh, okay, you're not giving me what you said you would give me. And sometimes people want to separate you from your dollar. That's going on with a lot of the information out there as it relates to these picks. So let's go first. Matt Gaetz, Attorney General. Trump announced that last night. He's going to be the pick for AG. And this inspired the biggest freak out from the left yet.
President-elect Trump intends to nominate Matt Gaetz to run the Department of Justice. What was your immediate reaction when you heard that?
Well, it must be the worst nomination for a cabinet position in American history.
His mustache.
The irony was it was so quick. It passed me, but I almost missed it.
I was like, what are you?
John Bolton saying the worst cabinet. Nobody, and the thing with John Bolton is he's such a wiener. You know, this guy gave a suggestion one day in a meeting, and Donald Trump said, "This is the stupidest idea I've ever heard in my life." And he just, no, I'm not going to be friends with you anymore. It's one thing to disagree. It's another thing to go back out there in public and consistently undermine the guy who gave you a job that you absolutely do not deserve.
Right. Trump probably said, that's from the lesser Bolton.
Yeah. Yeah. I would also say worst pick, Michael Brown, George W. Bush's FEMA head.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. No. If you
Wait, what happened for that guy?
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. What you're not taking into account his qualification. Mm-hmm. He was the commissioner of the International Arabian Horse Association. So it's like, I just want to handle a hurricane. Well, I know how things go like this.
Hard. He would tell you that you're doing it wrong.
Yes, I know. He would tell me. You went like this. What? You're supposed to go like this.
Oh, that's why I got it wrong.
Yeah, that's how you know the OC is also corrupt. When they wanted to remove the International Olympic Committee, they wanted to remove wrestling, one of the original sports of the Olympics, but keep dressage, which is horse dancing. Anyone know someone who's big on horse dancing?
Tim Walz.
No. He doesn't let them dance first.
It's more of a spectator thing for him.
Allegedly.
You will find that his copy of Horse Whisperer VHS is a little worn.
Oh, man.
John Fetterman's reaction was pretty good.
I mean, I would describe it as God tier level trolling to just trigger a full-on China syndrome to own the libs in perpetuity.
Yeah.
God level trolling.
Yeah.
That's about
pretty
right.
accurate. There is something, though, about Gaetz that I just can't quite put
It's the forehead. It's his forehead. I can't keep my eyes off it. Like I was watching him last night on TV. I just couldn't believe I was getting here. Take a look.
That's why you were leaving the office saying, I'll go. I'll go. We had a good day, Josh. We ate pancreas. All right.
My dad's pissed though.
Tulsi Gabbard. Let's get to Tulsi Gabbard.
So good.
Wednesday afternoon, Donald Trump did announce Tulsi Gabbard would be the director for national intelligence. This is his post on Truth. I am pleased to announce that former Congresswoman Lieutenant Colonel Tulsi Gabbard will serve as director of national intelligence, and she's very intelligent. People say she's the most intelligent. I say, well, wait, I'm in the room, but over the 2 decades, Tulsi has fought for our country and the freedoms of all Americans, not just some Americans, but all. As a former candidate for the Democrat presidential nomination, she has broad support in both parties. She is now a proud Republican. Tulsi will make us all proud. Use a little help. Now,
that's where her stripe came from. Party change.
Party change.
That's what it is. By the way, didn't she make it further into the 2020 than Kamala Harris?
Yes.
Much.
I think she did. Yeah, that's right.
She came the closest that I've ever seen on a world stage, political world stage, to world starring another woman.
Yes.
What she did with Kamala Harris.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, Kamala Harris's weave was left on that stage.
And she immediately withdrew from the race.
Yes. Yes, she did.
And her Bengals.
So for those of you who don't know, she's a war veteran. She was in Congress. She replaced Hirono there in Hawaii and did run for president in 2020 for the Democratic Party, that nomination. Okay, so I know that a lot of people are maybe mistrustful. And by the way, I think that's reasonable. It takes a little more time to build that trust. But she's made some great strides. So the responsibilities for this job, she's basically going to be overseeing like 18 agencies, right? So think FBI, CIA, NSA. So it's a pretty important job. And I hope that she starts with the perspective of disbanding. And by the way, it's time for Mitch McConnell check-in.
Oh, wow.
Hello, darkness, my
Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, that's one way to do it.
I don't know if he's taking his own life or if he's just lost.
Yes.
He went for a jog and froze at the wrong moment.
He's deep in thought.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Not anymore.
Trying to find his last thought. So
Or
here's
his
some
mother.
here's some claims that we'll all hear. Okay. Again, a lot of muddy waters out there. A claim you'll hear is that Tulsi is a Russian asset who is buddy with Assad.
Tulsi Gabbard for DNI.
Oh,
this guy.
Tulsi loves Russia.
Pause. Why is
She
he
lo-
broadcasting this from a dentist's waiting room after a root canal?
I know.
What is?
By the way, did somebody hit him in the forehead with a ball peen hammer?
Yeah. What did he meet David recently? It's like there's a dent.
I know.
It looks like the back of my car.
I know.
Perfect freeze
What
frame.
bumper after
world.
Mitch McConnell. All right. Let's see the rest of this jackass.
Loves Assad. Assad is a butcher. She was a member of a cult too, by the way. Somebody else can look that up. This is not normal.
Someone else can do my work.
I know you voted for it, but this is a problem. Senate, you better stop some of this. Or literally years and years of norms and decency out the window.
So I'm going to get to the truth in a second, but I think this is an important contrast. We have Kinzinger, right? Guy who was Republican, or sorry, but
Ish.
now he's on CNN. Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat. So I get it. You're going to say, okay, we have to. Here's the difference. Kinzinger is still trying to say, well, actually, my principles haven't. I'm still a Republican. And then every single thing he says is really not Republican at all, or certainly not principled. Tulsi Gabbard has said, you know what? I was wrong about a lot. I thought that I believed, and then I realized that this party not only didn't have my back, I realized that we didn't share the same values. Two very different things. She's not going on the right-wing shows, on conservative shows, saying like, well, actually, I'm still a Democrat, but I'm just, no, she's going, yeah, the Democratic Party is so far off the beam.
Yeah.
I had to leave and I want no part of it. Do you guys comment below? Do you notice that that's a big difference? One seems more genuine. The other seems like the well ran dry and you need dollar bills from somewhere else. So addressing the claim there about being a Russian asset, here's the truth. And this does matter. Tulsi, the support there of some of Russia's actions is directly in relation to her views on Al-Qaeda and ISIS. You may not agree with 15. She said, Al-Qaeda attacked us on 9/11 and must be defeated. Obama won't bomb them in Syria. Putin did. Does that contextually give you a little bit more? to chew on. She also thought that, hey, look, you know what? Overthrowing Assad would actually sometimes these strong arm dictators, sometimes these authoritarians, sometimes though, when you simply overthrow them without a plan, which is almost like we've seen that. It's almost like we've seen that play out
several dozen times. It seems.
Yeah, that the vacuum gets filled by something worse.
We all know that Bashar al-Assad, president of Syria, is a brutal dictator. But this resolution's purpose was not merely to recognize him as such. Rather, it was a call to action. Specifically, it was a call to escalate our war to overthrow the Syrian government of Assad. Now, for the last 5 years, the United States, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and others have been working hand in hand in that war to overthrow the Assad government, supposedly for humanitarian reasons. But I ask, how has this war to overthrow Assad actually helped humanity? Terrorist organizations like ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and others have taken over large areas of the country and are in genocide.
Yeah, that was from C-SPAN.
Engaging.
So, that makes sense. Her 2017 visit with Assad, again, the reason was she was hoping to help end the Syrian civil war. She told Jake Tapper right after that meeting, she said, when the opportunity arose to meet with him, I did so because I felt that it's important that if we profess to truly care about the Syrian people, about their suffering, then we've got to be able to meet with anyone that we need to if there's a possibility that we can achieve peace.
That's incredibly reasonable.
Pretty radical, if you ask me. No, it's reasonable as hell.
Can you get, comment if you, understandable. You don't, here's the thing. I got to tell you, he was somebody, I really don't to go, okay, all right, I can understand where you're coming from.
And
I get it.
The proof was on the ground. Like the Syrian people were being like obliterated by all of this. Like they made videos about these like towns being destroyed. It looked like some, post-apocalyptic like hellscape.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why wouldn't you want to try and end that by talking with this guy? Okay, well, let's just keep destabilizing him. Well, that's what's making everybody come in here and do whatever they want.
Right. Let me ask you
Not
this.
a good guy, don't get me wrong.
Well, yeah, is her position more untenable than calling George W. Bush a warmonger and Code Pink and now demanding never-ending hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine?
I don't understand why the Cheneys aren't getting behind her.
Yes. Now, to be fair, right, on behalf of the critics here, sometimes Tulsi can maybe miss the mark a little bit. For example, Russia still hasn't quite embraced the spirit of aloha.
Presidents Putin, Zelensky, and Biden, it's time to put geopolitics aside and embrace the spirit of aloha, respect, and love for the Ukrainian people by coming to an agreement that Ukraine will be a neutral country, no military alliance with NATO or Russia, and therefore alleviate the legitimate security concerns of both US and NATO countries as well as Russia, because there'd be no Russian or NATO troops on each other's non-Baltic borders. This would allow the Ukrainian people to live in peace. Aloha.
Yeah, I know it sounds nice, but Putin responded by immediately face fornicating a lay. So it didn't quite go.
Oh,
wow. Whoa.
He's been hitting the gym.
All right.
So.
Whoa. Look at Vladdy glutes.
Doesn't skip leg day.
We're not. We are Russian assets because we were overly flattering.
We were
in our portrayal.
Not sure why. But we
I think Devin really went into her research there.
Use your spirit of aloha. Look, I even have big Hawaiian table for you.
Devin had that Photoshop in 7 seconds. She's like, "Oh, I've been waiting for this."
The only thing I like more than this lay is your mother. Yes.
Bring me the pig next.
That's right.
No, not the actual pig. I was talking about
Liz Cheney.
Oh,
I need to get hard as rock. I watch Moana.
Aloha.
Just like, come on, please embrace the spirit of aloha. I will tell you
This sounds
this:
silly.
that they're laughing at you. Now, let's go through just to recap the pros and the cons on Tulsi. And again, all the references available. You guys can list some more if I've missed some. You can go click the link in the description. So some pros. She's very much opposed to the expansion that we've seen of the federal surveillance powers, the systems that be. So in 2020, she and Thomas Massie introduced some legislation that would repeal the Patriot Act. Okay.
Great.
She's a very staunch defender of free speech. All right. And you wouldn't think this is a pro, but to me it is. She was put on a terror watch list this year for her criticism of the Harris-Biden regime.
My own government has placed me on a secret terror watch list, targeting me
You're an
as a
X-Man.
potential domestic
She
terrorist.
looks like it, for real.
Why? Political retaliation. I spoke out about how dangerous Kamala Harris would be to our nation if she were to be elected as president, and why the American people should be very concerned.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Put on a terror watch list.
Jeez.
People talk about Donald Trump being an
know.
authoritarian, a fascist. People who disagreed with the president and vice president were put on terror watch lists. That happened. Some cons. All right. And I want to be clear here.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these, she may have changed her viewpoints, but there hasn't been enough time. All right. So it's not lost on me, but she's opposed a lot of conservative policies, a lot of Trump policies, including she actually called Trump personally Saudi Arabia's bitch.
That's a little over the
At
top.
one point in time. She opposed Donald Trump leaving the Iran deal. That's a big one for me. I'd like to hear an explanation on that. She cited China as a partner and criticized Donald Trump on his trade war, things like tariffs. She opposed Trump's withdrawal from the Intermediate Nuclear Forces Treaty with Russia after Russia violated the treaty. So some people may say, okay, maybe she's not been remarkably consistent there. There are some pros, there are some cons. She's not perfect, but I will tell you this. Well, first off, she's being mischaracterized by the left, but they'll do that anyway. No matter who you are, they will do it. They did it with George Bush. They did it with Ronald Reagan. They did it with Nixon. They did it with Mitt Romney, for crying out loud. And they've certainly done it with Donald Trump. And now, as you see, they're doing it with every single conservative across this country. So she is being mischaracterized. Hopefully, we've cleared that up. Also, she has been a tremendous asset to this campaign, to Donald Trump, because there were a lot of people originally, kind of some of the Bernie faction who thought, well, Bernie and maybe someone like a Tulsi Gabbard. I remember that. So those people, maybe it's a small slice, all of a sudden we're willing to listen. Kind of like the RFK voters. So I am grateful that she has done that, and I am cautiously optimistic. People can change, people's viewpoints can develop, but I hear the criticisms. I think some are valid, and I think some, hey, just warrant an explanation and a little more time, but there's a lot there to like.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's gone down this path. It's been a little bit of time of her kind of changing her views and kind of going away from the Democrat Party. RFK's been who RFK's been forever, and the Democrats hate him for it most of the time. So those two people are drastically different than on a dime, Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, because of January 6th and not liking Donald Trump.
Right.
That was it. Nothing else changed for them, and they went and hoarded themselves out. I'm sorry, that's exactly what they just did for Kamala Harris, trying to get somebody who believes nothing that they believe in to be president of the United States.
Yep.
So I have no respect for people like that. I'm glad they're done. I hope their political future looks about like, the ISIS guys in hell, getting raped. So,
well, no, you said we agreed they would, we agreed they like getting.
Well, that's right. So
it would
withheld.
be,
something.
If it's being withheld. Yeah.
Well, so maybe Liz Cheney's hell is, no wars.
Yes, exactly.
Peace and
She
prosperity.
just shows up in hell. She's
I
like,
don't know.
wait, everyone gets along?
And maybe Adam Kinzinger, his hell is just, still staying on CNN with no viewers.
Yes, absolutely. so fun. Liz Cheney's hell is no nukes. So we're going to get, and by the way, if you are not yet a Rumble Premium member, you just click that button right there. You get to continue watching. Thursday is the day where we take many, many chats because it is Chat Thursday. And you get to watch the show tomorrow, which is available exclusively to Mug Club. Now, Rumble Premium members, if you're a Mug Club member, you're watching right now, you can just convert it over to your Rumble Premium account. No cost. It'll all be one-stop shop. And we're going to get to that chat really quickly. So we're also going to be